be able to serve veterans today and far into the future. The building that you see before us has had a very, very long history, even before WCC laid eyes on it in 2014. In 1938, with plans provided by the University of Maryland, this large dairy barn was built on what was then known as the Schaefer Road Farm. The farm had an important purpose: to provide milk for American soldiers who were stationed in the Washington, D.C. area. Schaefer Farm was just one of over 430 dairy barns in the Montgomery County area. And the completion of the metropolitan branch of the B&O Railroad was a large contributor to the thriving dairy industry in Montgomery County. The new railroad transportation allowed fresh milk to be shipped from farms like this on a daily milk train. Then in 1945, the property was purchased by the Savage family. And I'm really excited that we have some members of that family here with us today. Could you please wave your hand? Over the years, this barn was modified several times as dairy farming technology improved. It supported dairy cows, 900 head of cattle, hogs, and horses most recently. And in 2014, we are really fortunate that the State of Maryland Department of Natural Resources reached out to us about the Schaefer Road Farm, which had not been in use for several years. They knew that we were badly in need of additional space. And the state offered that we could use this beautiful plot of Maryland State Parkland to meet our mission of healing veterans and military families. So signing that lease began a long process of renovating the 80 acres that today makes up WCC's healing quarters. Before renovation work began on the barn in January, WCC had already invested $2.5 million in property renovation and improvements. Over the years, if any of you have been around for a while, you know that we hit a couple road bumps. But I will tell you that neither a tornado taking out a building here in February 2019, nor a global pandemic that spiked material costs and labor through the roof could deter us. So in January, our very faithful partners at the James G. Davis Construction Corporation brought crews in to finally begin the work. But I'll tell you that this project would still be on the drawing board today if it were not for the leadership and faithful support of hundreds of donors and a few really remarkable folks who are here with us and seated in the front rows. Early funding for these renovations, the renovations of the barn, came from Montgomery County, followed by the state of Maryland, Associated General Contractors of America, the James G. Davis Construction Corporation, the Skip Varro Foundation, Mr. John Shushan, and the president of WCC's Board of Directors, Julie Walters. Julie invested financially in making this project a reality, but I will tell you, she also contributed her sweat equity by spending hours poring over construction plans and personally meeting with architects. Julie is as much a part of the facility team at WCC as Kim Vaughn or Tim O'Boyle, I assure you. In addition to these important investors, hundreds of extreme puppy watchers and others from the community also donated to help us raise the roof on this beautiful building. There's one additional person that we really need to mention as well, who is responsible for just catapulting the barn renovation project from merely an idea to reality. And that man is U.S. Navy veteran, Mr. Daniel Daniela. In recognition of his leadership support and that of his wife, Gail, today, Warrior Canine Connection will be dedicating this facility as the Angel Training Center. You see, the Danielos uniquely understand the power of the human-animal bond. When we discussed naming this building in their honor, they asked instead to have it serve as a permanent remembrance of a sweet pup angel who brought years of joy and love to the Daniello family. Though Angel has since passed, she will be remembered at this premier center where veterans can come to heal from the visible and invisible wounds of war. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for being a part of this long but critically important project. Your participation is a testament to the support everyone has shown for Warrior Canine Connection over the years. And at this time, without further ado, I would like to call forward WCC's founder, executive director, and chief dog whisperer, Rick Young.
A dog whisperer, but I'm not a speech giver. You know, when I first came out here in 2014, and when Captain Dave Powell from the Maryland Department of Natural Resources said, I have this other space that I know you need a place to operate, and it's closer to Walter Reed, and there's some room to expand if you'd like to see it. And we came out here, and it had been abandoned for a couple years, and you couldn't really see those fence posts because they were covered with weeds, and it was in need of some TLC, to say it mildly. And what most people, well, let's say some people, but actually most people, when they saw this barn in the state it was in, they saw a very rundown old barn. And that's not exactly what I saw. I looked at the cupolas up there, and although I didn't grow up on a farm, it just had that feeling of like home. So maybe in a past life I grew up on a farm. I don't know. But it just looked like, not to be corny or anything, but it just looked like America. And it had that sense of, whether you grew up on a farm or not, it seemed like home. And there's a saying that, especially when we're talking to our Vietnam veterans, to welcome them home. Those who are here, welcome home. But I saw this iconic structure as a really a terrific way to say that, welcome home. And my extensive construction experience, no, I didn't have any of that. I did build a little shed for a horse one time, and I think it may still stand. Maybe. But to be able to have this building go from where it was to where it is really a dream come true. And the amount of gratitude and the thanks that I need to give to everyone who's been involved in converting this, okay, it was an old barn, to the future of WCC. Because what's going to happen as a result of having this facility now that we can all work out of, we're talking about tens of thousands of veterans in the future who are going to be served as a result of this combined effort. And I want to just say, before I start thanking others, I need to stop and say, hey, Kim and Tim, our facilities folks, geez, Tim O'Boyle. Tim could tell you some stories of what it was like. Because we went up there and there was, how many thousands of tons of hay that had gotten wet and had a little bit of mold to it. Tim's the guy that cleaned all that out. I mean, that's just the amount of sweat equity and effort. Tim, you're up there as far as the people to thank, and Kim working through all of the planning and the challenges of the process, because this wasn't the easiest way to go about this. we're a nonprofit. We're here fortunate to be on Maryland State Parkland, which we don't own. We have a long-term lease, and to be living in Montgomery County, and there's probably easier ways to go and about this. But one of the thoughts was, even though this is a very complex level of collaboration with the nonprofit and state and county and federal and the corporate and all of the foundations, if you couldn't make a collaboration of that complexity work in the DC area serving veterans, it probably couldn't be done anywhere. But if we could make that work, it could be replicated and done anywhere. And I think that's what I'm probably most proud of, all of the efforts that have gone into making this collaboration work. From our county, Dale Tibbetts here today, amazing. Thank you for helping us navigate some of the challenges. It's just been different. We don't fit the mold. And when you don't fit the mold, somebody has to carve the first path. And our folks from the state, guys, just thank you for all the support in navigating this path. It's been remarkable that we've been able to accomplish this and get to this day where we can actually cut this ribbon. Julie Walters, this is named the Angel Training Center now because of Daniela's dog Angel, the love of their dog, and I think that's really wonderful to have the name reflect the love that dogs bring into our lives. Julie, you've been the angel since 2010 when I met you to help us get to this point. So thank you. Thank you. From sowing grapes to everything in between. It's been, Eric, thank you. Thanks, our folks from Davis, Matt and Steve Myrick, Jim Davis, putting together, what a team. That just saved us. It made this a reality. Turned a dream into a reality. General Contractors of America, Brian and Tom, they're here. You guys were there at the very beginning too, and really gave us the momentum to see this project through. I'm gonna get my glasses on so I make sure I don't. Oh, Shay is sitting here too, and our folks from the Department of Natural Resources. Whenever I first moved out to Maryland in 2010 to bring this program to the National Intrepid Center of Excellence from the Palo Alto VA, it was not looking good to find a place to set up shop that I could breed dogs that was close enough to commute and was affordable on a very shoestring nonprofit budget. And if you flip it, dog does work in mysterious ways. And we ended up working in the Patuxent River State Park in 2010. We quickly outgrew that spot. And to be able to partner with, and this was really kind of crazy. I had moved in October 2010 at the Patuxent River State Park and had 4 dogs out in the front yard when Captain Dave Powell pulled up in this white F-250 with the Department of Natural Resources logo on the side, and I thought, I don't know how he's going to feel about this. And I introduced myself as we talked, and he shared with me that the week prior he was in Annapolis when they announced this new program within the Department of Natural Resources called the Veteran and Warrior Outreach Program to utilize Maryland State Parkland to support the troops and veterans. It was the week that I was moving in. I had no idea. And to be able to connect and partner and be part of this unique program that the Maryland Department of Natural Resources has put together is really, truly an honor and just a godsend. You can't make this stuff up, as they say. So thank you for everything, helping us to just get to where we are. And I'm sorry, I know I'm missing folks that I'm grateful for everybody who's been part of this mission and continues to be part of this mission. And just please accept my just humble gratitude for helping us get to where we are and helping us get to where we need to be, because the need is great. But now we have the facility that will allow us to make a much larger dent in meeting that need. So thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask our, oh my goodness, I need a step stool. Okay. I'd like to ask our special guests who are seated here in the front to come up and join Rick, and let's cut this ribbon and dedicate this building.
It feels good, doesn't it? It feels good.
She's gonna get them. Yes, ma'am. You're gonna have to step in front of the pole here.
We're going to ask all of you to help hold the ribbon here. We're going to put Julie in the middle and Rick.
We're gonna ask y'all to hold this tight.
Where's Molly?
Molly.
Center.
Okay.
We're gonna get Molly up here.
Come in more.
Crop me out. Hold it tight so she can.
Oh, please jump in here. Jump in here. A suit? You need a suit? That's why I wore the suit.
We're not cutting yet. We need a photograph before we cut.
Okay, Julie will not cut until she gets the cue from you.
All right, right here, everybody. 1, 2, 3. And we're good.
Okay.
Thank you, Rick, and all of our special guests for doing the honor. At this time, I know you would rather stand and bake in the sun, but we would like to invite everybody to take a sneak peek at this incredible new training facility.